Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
Security filtering devices which we have, correct? Now you can see there are some packet filter, stateful inspection, proxy. These are the type of firewalls which we can use for it, correct? Now secure protocol. Now here they are allowing you that if you want to use any protocol, make sure that the traffic which is happening with the help of that protocol, it has to be encrypted, correct? Now here they're talking about if you want to do the remote connection with your any particular database or any particular server, correct? Do not use telnet because a telnet is a plain text, correct? Try to use secure shell, that whatever command which you are moving from your client to the server, and if it is going over the internet, then it would be completely encrypted. It is not doing anything at all. It is completely encrypted information. Now you can say HTTPS. Now why should we use HTTPS? Because HTTPS is a secured protocol. Your web browser and your computer, when they are communicating with each other, correct? The traffic which is happening from your browser to your web server, the both has to be encrypted. I cannot just type facebook.com without HTTPS, then he will carry my username and password in a plain text to go for authentication, then someone can capture it, correct? So here we have to make sure that whatever protocols we are using for implementation, it has to be secured protocol, correct? Similarly, SSL TLS. Now this is a security, transport layer security, which is available on the browser. You can see this certificate is actually the implementation of SSL TLS. So if I go here, if I say help about Chrome, now SSL and TLS. Now TLS is the security which we are using on the browser. Okay, security. Okay, let me see where we can see TLS. Okay, search engine appearance security. Okay, we are using HTTPS SSL certificate settings. So you can see over here, I'm using SSL, secure socket layer, correct? So you can see SSL and TLS. This is provide the communication security over actually internet, means your browser based communication. Remember that currently SSL is no more available, correct? TLS is by default, everyone is trying to convert into the transport layer security now. So make sure that whatever browser based communication which you are doing, actually that should be secured with SSL and TLS communication protocol. Correct? STP, that is, rather they said using FTP protocol, you should go for secure FTP. Now this is another new protocol who can go for what you can say to transfer the file. Correct? But this time the file which is transferred from one location to another location, it would be in a secure fashion. Correct? Third one is SNMP. I told you, simple network management protocol. Correct? This will help you to manage or monitoring activity you want to transfer, whatever management of your network should be happen. It should be happen with SNMP version 3, because when you're monitoring tools or whenever you're doing any kind of a network management, the data which is transferred between your console and your particular device, it should be done with encrypted format. Now IPsec is a security nothing but IP over security, or over the IP there is one more security layer would be added. Now if you are using any VPN kind of a connectivity, okay, if you are connecting any VPN connections, whether it's point to point or whether it's client to server VPN type of connection, we are actually using this IPsec security. That means security is actually running on the top of IP. So whatever data traffic which is happening between your end-to-end connection, it is completely secured. Correct? Now there are many protocols which we can use, which could be secured and will make sure that the data transmission should be happen in a encrypted format. Correct? Windows firewall. Now this firewall is completely different and Windows firewall is completely different. Both the firewall do the same thing. Correct? He will check the each and every packet on your operating system level.
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
We are talking about the control panel. Okay. Now, initially it was there in the right hand side. But if I say control panel, okay, under the control panel, we do have a Windows firewall. Now, this is an operating system firewall, correct? And this is, you can see, Windows. Currently, it is turned on, correct? Block all the connection to app which are not listed in allowed app. Now this is much more sophisticated firewall on your laptops. This will help you to block and provide some additional security at your operating system level. So whatever it is applied, that only allowed it on that particular computer. Correct? There are, if you are not allowed any particular traffic to become with the help of Windows firewall, your that particular website or that particular user will not be able to access anything. Correct? You do not require to purchase any additional firewall, because nowadays Windows firewall is very much popular at OS level. For small network, it is clearly mentioned. For small organization, Windows firewall do every possible activity which normal firewall do, network level firewall. But this Windows firewall is much more better software level firewall who can do majority activity like whatever normal firewall can do. He can block the connection if you said port number 80 is only allowed. Other than that, nothing is allowed. Yes, he can block every communication which is coming over here. Correct? Whatever communication is allowed it from this computer to the outside, everything is allowed. But whatever coming inside, nothing would be allowed if you are not configured there. Now by default, the port is configured. Port 80 is by default allowed it in this particular Windows firewall. But if I want, I can disconnect that as well. Correct. So Windows firewall is another OS level firewall that will help your computer system at OS level. But this is called as software firewall. Correct. Now this is something. Okay. Now this is something activities and guidelines, which is for your exam. Now this is something called as software updates, which you are doing on your operating system. Correct? Now normally, whatever operating system which we are using, either we should have small patch, hotfix, rollup, or either a service pack. Correct? Now small patch means it's a simple logical supplementary code would be given. If you run that particular patch, that will make sure that will fix your some of the problem. Correct? Hotfix is nothing but emergency. Correct. Now in Windows there are many hotfixes are there, because in Windows there are emergency security flaws are there. We are supposed to run those hotfixes in order to make sure that that particular security loophole should be fixed up. Patch is nothing but something where group of some supplemental code or some security problem has been identified in a software package or operating system. If you install the patch, that particular problem has been fixed. Correct. Now rollup is something which is a combination of all hot fixes and patches together. It is called as rollup upgrade. So whatever you have configured previously, for example, if I have Windows 10 right now, and I would like to make sure that whatever hotfixes and patches which was supplied last year, I would like to apply all the patches and all the hotfixes in a single bundle. Correct? Is as a single unit. Then I will not go for single patch and hotfix one by one. Rather, I will go for rollup, which is nothing but a collection of all the previous list. You just go for rollup update. It will update all the security patches and hotfixes till that particular date. On the top of that, we do have a service pack. Now, if there is a major change, which if you want to go ahead with, if you want to do some major change, then we will go for service pack. Service pack will fix up everything in terms of patches, in terms of hotfixes, in terms of features advancement, anything. If you would like to go ahead it, you will find everything in a service pack. Normally we used to get a service pack 1, service pack 2 for Windows. Actually now we are updating our system on a daily basis, so majority of cases some small hotfixes patches would be continuously updated on your operating system. Correct. So remember that your software updates is very important activity in organization. Any given point of a time, if your patch do contain any vulnerability fix, you have to put that patch on that particular system.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Correct. Otherwise, it would be something would be available. Now, how patching could be done? In real life, we cannot just take the patch and apply it. Correct. Now, if you would like to patch any particular system, first I need to make sure that whatever patch which I want to apply for my system, is it the right patch? I should make sure that what are the things are fixed in that particular patch which I really require. If it is a security related patch, you really don't need to bother about it. Straight away, you need to apply that particular patch. Then before you actually put that particular patch into production environment, you need to make sure that the testing of the patch should be done on some other station. Correct? Not just applying, actually you are going to apply that particular patch, check how your operating system performs, how your server is performed, what are the vulnerabilities are fixed up in that particular point. Then only you would be able to apply that patch on the production side. Even it cannot be directly coming from the internet. Some patch server, okay, there are some Windows update server, WSUS server, we can call it as Windows System Update Server. We will download the patch on that server, and from that server somebody push those update patches to your particular machine. So before actually patch will get applied on your machine, it would be going through rigorous process. It cannot be something like that blindly downloaded and pushed like the one which we are doing it at our home computer. It is not the same process which is happening in enterprise environment. Most of the enterprise environment do have WSUS server. Okay, that server help us to push the patches to the client machine. Then patch rollback. Now sometime what happened, if you want to apply any particular patch, and let's say that patches doesn't work for you, what you are supposed to do? Remember that before you do the patching of any particular server, whether it could be operating system, whether it could be a database, whether it could be any software, okay, so before you do any kind of update, patching, hot fixing, correct, any activity, if you would like to do it, we will always create a backup plan for that. Correct, we will make sure that we should take the backup of this entire same version right now which is working fine. I should take the backup of it, and after that we will put the patch on that particular system. In any given point of a time, I do have some problem, I can restore my system back from that particular backup which I have took. Now that was a previous process. Nowadays we do have some automated process that your patch can also be rolled back. Okay, it will go back to the last good configuration which you have done so far. Correct. So remember that patch rollback is a process to roll back whatever you have applied. So whatever before you actually doing the patching, there is a process. My system will take all the backup of all the things prior it applied any patch. Any given point of a time, if you feel that, oh no, this particular patch doesn't work for me, you can roll back that particular patch one more time, because your system already know what is the good condition or what is the last good condition which you have applied before you applied this particular patch. So patch rollback is a process where you want to take out all the update which you have applied in the form of patches. Correct? Firmware upgrade. Now firmware upgrade necessarily required for devices like our routers. Correct? The firmwares is required for our access points. Firmwares are required for majority of the devices which is working on firmware. There is a firmware on computer as well. Now we do have a BIOS, like a basic input and output system. That is nothing but a firmware actually. Now this is nothing but a flash memory. Inside this flash memory, the firmware is an operating system. Correct? Every wireless device, every access point, even your computer do have some small memory chip which contains a very small operating system, and that operating system would be able to update sometime. Correct? Now there are few reasons. Now sometime your hardware is not working properly, there is a big fix are available over there. Correct? If you would like to enable some additional feature on it, you need to update the firmware. Correct? Now remember that we are also trying to update the firmware on the routers, which is enterprise routers. We also update the firmwares of your enterprise switches, because our switches and our routers is actually working on some firmware. There is an operating system. Correct? We will see that from tomorrow in each and everything slowly. Correct? What is an operating system and what are the different type of firmware upgrades are available in that particular thing. So firmware upgrade is also necessary if you require to have any bug fix needs to be done. Correct? Now this is an activity. Okay. Now antivirus software. Now this is well known to you that every computer do require an antivirus software which will help you to make sure that any malware attack should be stopped. We discuss about malware attack, that there is a virus, there is a Trojan, there is a rootkit, there is a spyware, there is a adware, there are worms, virus, there are malicious program which are coming to my system. I'm accessing some internet connectivity all the time. Correct? Now this particular thing would be very important to be installed on your system. Correct? Make sure that every file which you are downloading, correct, it should be scanned. Every file you are uploading, correct, it should be scanned before it get uploaded. Every email which you are sending with attachment, it should be scanned. Correct? Every device we are attached to your system, it should be scanned. Correct? So antivirus software needs to be installed and managed and maintained appropriately, because if the virus definitions are very old, then that antivirus software will not help us at all. So you have to make sure your antivirus software should be updated. Correct? Nowadays majority of antivirus software will do the update automatically. Sometimes they do have some update servers. You can push the update after testing those updates somewhere. Correct? So antivirus software is very important.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Privilege user account. Now this is very important. They are talking about your administrator and your root user account. Correct? Now in Windows we do have an administrator user, and in Unix there is a root user. Now both the user are super user of their operating system. Now our rule is saying simple word that if you necessary, then only you can try to use this account. Otherwise don't use this account at all. Whatever regular activity you need to do it, create another account, provide some necessary privileges which you required in a day-to-day basis. You can do all the day-to-day tasks with that account. Correct? You can see for each user have a regular user account. You do not provide anyone to be have this particular root user or administrator account. Now here is a concept of least privilege. Okay, so you should make sure that you are not supposed to share the password of this user at all. Whatever daily activity which you should be able to do it, you are not supposed to do that activity with this account. You can create another account, provide the necessary rights to that, and you can use only that account to do your day-to-day activity. Correct? After that, role separation. This is the same thing which you are talking about. Based on your role, you should provide the individual responsibilities. If I'm an administrator and I have a junior administrator, so every role for administrator and junior administrator needs to be defined. Responsibilities would be given to them properly. So role separation should be there in your organization. Duties, responsibilities should be properly managed and maintained. Correct? Based on the duties and responsibility, authorization should be done. Correct? So accountability should be in the place, authorization should be in the place, roles are separated, privileges are completely separated from each other. So this will help you to make the security control. This will give you the complete idea that this particular person do have this particular role, and he's only doing his activity, and he's accountable for that particular activity when I am doing the audit. Correct? So remember that this is very important thing. This is access control list. Once again, they are talking about it. Now chown is the command in Linux where you can change the ownership of any files and directory if you want. Correct? Now Windows do have option where we can change and provide the permissions of any files and directory as well. If I would like to add any user or add any group using D access control list, these are the some of the screenshot. Correct? Now the last part of this is called as switch port protection. Now you can see there are some attacks available. Now these are few things like spanning tree, flood guard, BPDO guard, root guard, DHCP snooping, MAC addressing. These are all security which you can configure on the switch. Now switch is our layer 2 devices. Correct? Tomorrow we will start switching with respect to CCNA now. Correct? So we need to understand these problems. We will go for BPDU guard. We will go for root guard. We will check spanning tree, how it is working. We will check MAC addressing, MAC flooding attack, how we can stop this particular attack in our organization. Correct? So switch port is protection, means how I can stop any particular attack which is coming to my switch. Correct? There are multiple options are available which we can use in order to do that. Correct? Now flood guard, spanning tree, BPD guard, root guard, these are some of the example which is provided in order to stop such attack coming from layer 2. Correct? We will see tomorrow practically how these things are actually working. NAT and PAT. Now NAT stand for network address translation and PAT stand for port address translation. Now this is a concept. Okay, now network address translation will help us to hide our private IP addresses from external network. Correct? Now NAT means currently what our scenario says over here. Now this is, forget about this SSO. Let's assume this is not SSO. This is my complete private network which I have. Okay, this is a complete private network which I have, which is connected to the internet modem, and after that modem I do have complete internet. Now if I would like to go online with all the devices, correct, I want to go online with this computer, this computer, this computer, this computer, this computer. I told you, if I would like to go online, what should I do? I should have the public IP address to every computer, correct? But in real life, are we having public IP address to all computers connected inside the organization? No, it is private. Then still they are able to access the internet. Yes, because I have a concept called as network address translation. Whenever they want to go to the internet, they will go to this NAT device, and whatever private IP address they have it, they convert it into the public IP address and they will go outside. Correct? So that will save my many IP addresses, and that will make sure that within my particular local area network, within single public IP address, I would be able to share the internet connection across. This concept is called as NAT. So NAT is also helping me. There is a boundary over here. Your public side does not know what is happening over here side. They don't know the internal IP address, because whenever the packet is going outside the NAT, it is what? It is public. They won't be able to see what is happening inside this local area connection. Correct? So that is called as NAT and PAT devices. It is saying which is conceal the internal IP address from the external network. That means whatever IP addresses which you have inside, before it go outside to the internet, he will take that public IP address, which is a single public IP address, and he will go into the internet. Nobody will come to know that what is the internal IP address where it came from. He only know this his IP address is the public IP address. Correct? So this technique is also called as NAT and PAT. We will practically see what is a static NAT, what is a dynamic NAT, and what is a PAT. PAT is stand for port address translation. Correct? Penetration testing. Now this is very, very important. You need to do it actually. Now every time you need to follow this penetration testing in your organization. Correct? Your organization should know what are the different type of vulnerabilities are there. I told you there are many penetration scanners, devices, and tools are available. You should use that tool and scan your entire system along with the network in order to find out what are the loopholes or what are the weaknesses are available in your network, in your system, in your configuration, anywhere. That particular software will be able to scan everything. Plus, if you want, you can hire some hacker who can do the penetration testing. That means he will try to penetrate your network and he will tell you that what are the different loopholes are available in your network. Correct? So that process is penetration testing. So you are going to hire a hacker who is authorized, who know how to hack. He will try to hack each and every network aspect, each and every thing, and will make sure that whatever loopholes are available, weakness are available, you should fix it. Plus, I told you, you should have intrusion detection system. Any anomaly, it is available in the form of hardware as well as in the form of software as well. You should have IPS and IDS devices. Any given point of a time, if I would like to detect any anomaly, I told you that continuously someone is pinging, continuously someone is sending me HTTP request, correct? Any abnormal behavior, if these devices would find out, they will immediately give you the notification. If IDA device is there, he will detect that anomaly. If you have IDS plus IPS, he will detect it and he will prevent it. Then he will stop that particular anomaly immediately. Correct? Now you have to make sure that if you want to secure your network, you should do the penetration testing. You should have IPS and IDS devices should be placed. It should be properly configured, and you have to make sure that it should be time to time, it should be done patches. You have to manage and test those devices. Correct? Last but not the last but not the least thing, honeypots or honeynets. Now here, these are very high level security mechanisms which we are using. Normally we are using this type of implementation in manufacturing sector. Like I have seen such kind of implementation in Saudi, where there is a petroleum manufacturing unit is there. They have implemented some honeypots. Correct? Now honeypot is nothing but it's a fake server that makes your attacker fool. Correct? He will come to know that he is directly attacking a server, but technically that is a honeypot. This is actually made to the attacker to attract himself. Let him come inside. Correct? And he will make sure that he should be keeping away from actual network. That means it is a woofing, or you can say you are trying to make that hacker fool by creating some honeypot network and diverted that particular person from actual network and going to the honeypot. Correct? This is a very high level of secured implementation where we are trying to understand attacker, understand each and every his move. Based on his move, we will try to make our network secure. But let him come inside, analyze him with the help of some analysis tool. Let him work on the device which is completely fake. Let him not goes to actual network which you are using, and analyze what exactly the way he comes into this particular network and stop him. Correct? So these are all security measures. Now this is only for training perspective. There are many more for student perspective. You need to read a lot when you talk about what are the different controls which you have. I hope it is clear to everyone that what are the different type of security controls which you have. Correct? So I hope everything is clear to everyone.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.